Hi, I'm Jared with RDS of Florida. Today I'm going to be showing you how to disassemble a Panasonic JS170 in order to put in a new hard drive and also a new stick of memory. I'm going to start by talking about the tools that we're going to need. We're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver, pad of paper, pen, a Sharpie. The Sharpie is for labeling any cables that you unplug out of the machine if necessary. Container for any loose screws that we take out of here so we don't lose them, as well as the hard drive that we provide and the memory stick that we provide. Very important to remember, the hard drive will be labeled T1, T2, T3. So the first step in completing this project is actually going to a terminal, touching the screen, and looking at the terminal number in the lower right hand corner. It'll be labeled T1 Expo, T2 Satellite, so on and so forth. We don't want to put a hard drive labeled T4 into a machine that says T1. So that's where the pad of paper and pen come in. Write down what terminal number is where. So that's step one. Step two, we're actually going to turn the power to the machine off. Underneath, you'll see a little power button here. Flip it off, and then we're also going to disconnect the power cable. That's an extremely important part. If that step is missed, consequences could be disastrous. Okay, the next step is to actually start disassembling the machine. We're going to start by removing this gray top. If you look, there are two grooves on either side of this machine. Both of these grooves each contain a screw that need to be removed. So I'm going to go ahead, put my screwdriver in here, and start taking out some screws. Alright, once these screws have been removed, this gray top is ready to come off. You just grab both sides, push it out, pull it up, and it's off. Okay, set that aside because we're going to need it later. The next step, we're taking out the screw in the very center that's holding this top piece on. You're going to see this to the very left of this cluster of wires here. Take out this screw. And now we're going to work our way down. On both sides of the machine, you're going to see silver screws holding this casing on. Both of these need to come out. Alright, moving down, move this printer out of the way, power cable out of the way. On both sides of this machine are going to be two screws in the front and the back. We're going to remove these. Place them in our jar here. Okay, so those four screws are taken out. At this point, we're going to turn the machine around so it's facing at you. We're going to lift up on the bottom of the machine, and there's going to be one screw right here that will need to be taken out. Unfortunately, my machine doesn't have it in there, but we'll take that screw out and place it in the jar as well. Once those screws have been removed, this casing is ready to come off. Place your hands on both sides and just pull it toward you. Simple as that. We'll set this casing aside. And now we're looking at the inner workings of the machine. Hard drive is right here, and as you can see, it's mounted to this bracket. This bracket is going to be coming out, and this one is going to be going in the same exact way. First step here, we're going to go ahead and disconnect the hard drive just by pulling on this little ribbon cable here. It should come right out. Then we're going to remove these two gold screws right here. These go back in the jar. This bracket is now ready to be removed. As you can see, you just kind of pull up and may have to wiggle it around a little bit. We're going to set this aside. That's going to be shipped back to our office. Okay? Hard drive going in exactly how it came out. You're just going to line up these holes. And you may have to finagle it a little bit. Massage it, if you will. There we go. Okay. Now you can see how this cable is positioned. So it should be able to be plugged easily into this slot. It shouldn't have to be forced. You can see it's in there nice and tight. And now we can replace the two gold screws. Okay, next step, replacing the memory stick. The memory stick is found up towards the top, and you're going to see these little white notches that actually lock that stick in place. In order to remove it, just pull up on the notch, pull down on this notch, pull it out towards you. Set this aside. We get the new memory stick. Alright, now, when you look at where this memory stick connects to, it can only go in a certain way. There's little notches here, so if you try and put it in the wrong way, it won't go in, okay? Also important, the actual little notches here are going to be facing towards the left. So we're going to put this in. Line up the little notches. Okay, got it lined up, and once you press it in, it should automatically lock for you. Okay, if it doesn't lock on its own, that means it's probably not in there properly, so just try again. Alright, so once it's locked, we're finished up with doing anything in here, and we're now ready to replace the casing.